Hey y'all, good morning. Let's study Matthew chapter 7, verse 6. It reads, "Do not give dogs what is holy, and do not throw your pearls before pigs, lest they trample them underfoot and turn to attack you." If you've seen any of my other videos or ever had Bible study with me, you understand how deeply I sit to break down these scriptures. And I'm going to show you. So let's get into it. Do not give dogs what is holy. This is the first portion of the scripture. I did a bit of research and I found that biblically, dogs are referred to as representing impurity, uncleanliness, death, decay, or even agents of divine judgment that consume bodies of those who died in disgrace. A few scriptures to reference with this would be Exodus 11 and 7, 1 Kings 14 and 11, 1 Kings 16 and 4, 1 Samuel 17 and 43, and 2 Samuel 9 and 8. I won't dive into those scriptures. That would take absolutely too much time, but I wanted to reference those and also go into the deeper meaning of how the Bible may describe or refer to dogs and why it says not to give dogs what is holy. Holy means to be separated, set apart, dedicated or consecrated to God or a religious purpose, sacred. So if a dog is referred to as impure or unclean or death or decay or disgrace, why would we give them something that is consecrated and set apart for God? So let's move to the next part. And do not throw your pearls before pigs. I want to stop and define pigs before I go into pearls. So again, biblically, pigs are referred to or mentioned as unclean animals. This can be found in Leviticus 11, 7 through 8, Deuteronomy 14 and 8, and 2 Peter 2, verse 22. So similar to the dogs, pigs are also considered to be unclean animals that should not be eaten or touched. So let's talk about pearls. Did a little digging just to get a little bit more information about pearls than what I already knew. So essentially, a pearl is described as the only gemstone that comes from a living creature that hit on its own. They're naturally unique and have a long history of symbolizing wealth, purity, and wisdom. So again, why would you give something that has been dedicated or consecrated, separated for God, something that is sacred, to a dog or a pig? In the sense of how pearls are referenced in this particular portion of the scripture, is basically stating that in throwing your pearls before pigs, you'd be giving something that is valuable to someone, or something that doesn't have the ability or the capacity to appreciate or understand what it is that you're putting before them. So let's tap into the last part. It says, "Let's they trample them underfoot and turn to attack you." I looked up the word lest, L-E-S-T. It means for fear that, which means that God is introducing a warning here. I looked up the word and it says introducing a warning or a consequence to be avoided. So he's already telling you that a dog or a pig, if they are considered to be unclean, impure, they represent death, decay, disgrace. What else would you expect if you're putting your holiness and your pearls out before them? What else would you expect them to do with it? I want to tap into the pearls a little bit more. Our pearls are our treasures. Our treasures are our love, our peace, our goodness, our patience, our kindness, our self-control, our wisdom, our insight, foresight, hindsight, whatever it is that God has given you, the treasure that God has placed into your treasure box. And when we cast or throw our pearls before swine, we're giving them something. But since they're impure, unclean, they don't have the ability to appreciate or understand what's been put before them. So they mess it up. And that essentially makes the gestures of you placing out what is holy, you placing out your pearls, a pointless gesture. Especially if this is a continuous act that you're doing and realizing that you give gentleness, love, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, self-control, insight, foresight, hindsight, wisdom, whatever it is, whatever your treasures are that you're giving, you give these things, but they trample them by giving you impurity, rivalry, divisions, dissension, strife, jealousy, enmity, so on and so forth. And it's definitely not a fair exchange in you giving your love and peace in exchange for jealousy and strife. You giving your kindness and goodness in exchange for rivalry and division. And as I was studying this, it kind of took me back to my people-pleasing days, realizing that in doing this, it's basically as an act of people pleasing, trying to convince others of something that you're giving them. It's kind of like if your partner is not giving you love and you give more love so that you can receive an ounce of love back, but it doesn't work that way. It doesn't matter how much love you give, how much peace you give, or whatever it is that you're providing. If they don't have the capacity to appreciate it and understand it for what it is, you're casting your pearls before swine. You're giving dogs what is holy. My key point in all of this, one was digging further into how dogs and swine or pigs are referred to in the Bible, and further breaking down the word holy, and also a better understanding of what our pearls are and why God finds them to be so precious and why we should as well. But in addition to that, the lesson here is discernment. And I wrote, knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. If your pearls are like treasures, essentially, do you just allow anyone to walk up and access your treasure box? Or are you just opening your treasure box and giving your treasure to anyone who comes up to you and wants something from it? No. So there should be a level of discernment in knowing when to speak and when to remain silent, knowing when and when not to cast your pearls or put forth your holiness. The second thing I wrote in regard to a lesson in having discernment with these things is that to advise against forcing your beliefs on those who are hostile, and instead share with those who are open to listening and actively taking what you're giving and incorporating it and putting it back out into the world to be shared.